Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Most Things Hypnosis. I am your host, Ilah Brock, and today is December 2nd, 2021. Where has the year gone? Oh my gosh. It's just like yesterday. It was January 1st, and last year it took 10 years to get through, right? But we're here, and holidays are happening, and it's the end of the year, and the weather's getting a little crisp here on this side of the hemisphere. Anyway, today's title of the show, How to Enhance Relationships. I do have a returning guest, my very dear friend, Paul Marshall, who's with us today in studio. And we do have a lot of fun talking and discussing and bantering back and forth. But today's topic, Paul's going to take the guy's perspective and point of view, and I'm going to take the gal's in a way. And we're going to be discussing relationships and the differences within relationships. But first, you all thought I forgot, huh? But first segment. Here's a story that kind of goes along with today's theme that I read in recent months. And it has to go along with respect of our partner and how we treat people. This is a story, and this is a man in his family, whatever. When I was about 8 years old, maybe 9, my mom burnt some toast one night that stood out in my mind when she had made dinner for us. After a very long and rough day at work, she placed a plate of jam and extremely burnt toast in front of my dad. Not slightly burnt, but completely blackened. I was just waiting to see if anyone noticed that the burnt toast and would say anything, but Dad just ate his toast and asked me if I did my homework and how my day was. I don't remember what I told him that night, but I do remember hearing my mom apologizing to Dad for burning the toast. And I'll never forget what he said. Sweetie, I love you. I love burnt toast. Later that night, I went to tell my dad goodnight and asked him if he really liked burnt toast. And he put his arms on my shoulder and said, "Your mama put in a very long day at work today, and she was very tired. And besides, a burnt toast never hurts anyone. But you know what does hurt? Harsh words." And that he continued to say, "You know, life is full of imperfect things and imperfect people. And I'm not the best at hardly anything. And I forget birthdays and anniversaries just like every other human being. But I've learned over the years is that learning to accept each other's faults and choosing to celebrate each other's differences is one of the most important keys for creating a healthy, growing, and lasting relationship. Life is too short to wake up with regrets. Love the people who treat you right and have compassion for those who do not. Enjoy life now. Love your people deeply." And I love that story because it really does go along with a lot of character. We're going to watch, welcome to my show, Paul. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. But before we get started, I have a little video I want to show, which is really going to be like the points, bouncing off point for today's show. So production Mike, whenever you're ready, go ahead, and if you can show that video, we're ready to go. It's less than 2 minutes, but really profound. So I encourage you to listen.
It's just, there's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me and I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head, and it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
See, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See,
out.
you're not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
Yeah, that sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Oh, come on. Ow. If you would just...
Don't...
Try to see things my way. Do I have to keep on talking till I can go on? We can work it out. We can work
All right. That was great. I love that. That is like such a profound video on men listening and women communicating, and men communicating and women listening, and men who like to fix things. So give me some opinion what you think of that video there, Paul. Let's start there.
Well, one thing's for sure, that lady sure knows how to drive the nail home when she's trying to make a point, right? And that's why I'm not doing stand-up. Anyhow, but you know what? There's a lot in that video because it makes so much sense on how men and women, we just approach things different. We see things different. And like there, it's more of a metaphor, and she's trying, but men are visual.
Yeah.
So she's smart. She's trying to say that, listen, I've talked to you over and over. You're not listening to me. Put a nail in my forehead, and he's like, okay, I can fix that. She's like, I don't want you to fix it. I just want you to listen to me.
Right.
And that's truly what we have to do. You know, we have to engage. You have to take some time. But you got to understand the differences between how women approach things and how men approach things. And we just do it differently.
We do.
You know, we just approach it differently. We have different thought patterns about it,
Yes.
how we approach it, what we do. So, I mean, this thing is great. He wants to fix it. Men, by nature, we want to fix things, right?
That's right. Well, you don't want to get all emotional about it. There's a problem. Well, let me fix it. What do you do at work, guys? You fix things. You have your job or whatever it is you're doing. You want to fix your marriage. You want to fix your relationship. You want to fix your children. Oh, the bike's broken, but little Sally's got a skinned up knee. Go see your mom. I'll fix the bike. That kind of thing. It's true. We want to fix things. This kind of also segues into a post I put up about chivalry, if you will, in a manner of speaking. I'm going to ask you what you believe chivalry is, but I'm going to read this post first. I put up a meme a few days ago, last week, and it was quotes. I don't know who wrote it. Do men ever think, damn, she's been through a lot. Let me show her something different and treat her like a queen. And I got a lot of posts on that, and I'm going to actually read some of those posts later on. But Paul, this is a woman or a man being chivalrous with his queen. Well, we hope. But anyway, what is your opinion and your thoughts on chivalry? And I keep hearing it's not dead.
Well, it depends. Most people have a common, it's just opening the door for a lady. And that is his thought. But you know what? It's like anything else. How much you put into it and how much you respect her, honor her, and appreciate her is how much you'll actually do for her. And the thing is, guys, you'll get that back tenfold in return. If you give her $1, she will give you 10. If you give her 10 minutes, she'll give you 10 days. But we don't see that because we don't understand the need for it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like this. I was thinking about, okay, two guys, right? I call up Bob and I go, hey, what are you doing today? I'm going grocery shopping. Ugh. Two women, hey, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm going to go grocery shopping. Oh, where are you going? I'm going over to Gimbel's. Oh, they're having a sale. Oh, also over here they're having it. Women will be more methodical. They're going to talk through it. They want to discuss it and throw in a lot of options. Mm-hmm. The ratio between how much women talk and men is 80-20. So let them talk, but listen to them, mm-hmm. And how they know you're listening to them is you have to respond with a comment about what they're saying.
I have a comment about that. Listen to learn. Don't just listen to respond. Like you said, one of the things, guys, and I learned that, guys, and I have done relationship strategy studies, repeating the last 3 or 4 words she said lets her know you're talking about. You're listening to her, not just not saying anything, but engaging in the conversation for her. And here's another thing that gets my goat. I'm going to jump it right out there because it just popped in my head.
All right there. I'm ready.
Okay. So if I ask a guy or a friend, anybody, it can be a friend or whomever, a question about their life. Have you ever been to New York? And if they say no, I'm going to go on to the next question. I'm not going to say, well, I have. They didn't ask me. So don't volunteer more information than what you're wanting to find out if they've done, or they've experienced X, Y, and Z. You may have, or maybe you haven't, but that doesn't mean you need to offer that information. Get them to ask you questions. Because didn't you tell me once, the more they talk, the more we learn?
Oh boy, that's one of the things too, guys. Just be quiet. Just listen. And don't always try to think of things to say, because all you have to do is respond. ask her how she feels about it.
Yeah.
What did she do about it? And
Open-ended.
then throw in a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
And if the conversation's literally going down the rabbit hole where you're just like, okay, do something crazy, look at her and say, you know what, I love you, darling. Or, do something that just completely changes the whole subject.
Yeah. Do you
So
smell
it is
popcorn?
in your control to see where the conversation's going, but also be attentive. And I've got actually some suggestions on that.
Oh, we're going to get into that. Let's get into these comments. So after this little ditty that I posted, there was some areas some replies that I got. For one of the replies was, women have programmed us to not do this, to not be treated like a queen. So this person is saying that men have been programmed not to treat us like a queen. And this person has some validity, and was a guy that wrote that. And besides, it's a two-way street. Has a woman ever thought, he's been through a lot, so I'll stop with my BS towards him? It's just like, quit your bitching, lady. I agree. We don't need to be that kind of a person. Another, I found myself replying to that one. Many times we come from a past bias. How have we been treated in our past by our parents or our family? Or if you've had a crappy day, no matter what, whoever had the crappy day, I believe it's incumbent on the other partner who didn't have a crappy day to help us feel better. Just here's your coffee after work, or if you have a cocktail or whatever. This is some of the more things that we're going to be talking about. We're going to get into drama here in a minute. Drama. Other comments were, I think this war on men has been gone on long enough. And this is a woman that stated this in my post. Ask yourself this, she says, what happened to men? Men used to treat women with respect, and they don't need this feminist to tell them what to do. But feminists zeroed in on the very bad apples and attributed all of the men into that bad trait. So all men. But all this male bashing has done nothing but get the men to be too scared of the woke judgment, to be real men. How about a segment on how a woman should treat a man? And that's what we're working on today. I'm sorry, that was a man that wrote that. And this, we're going to add this. Someone else wrote in, I was just thinking that the other day about my post about how come men aren't treating women like queens. Notice how most of the love songs we have are written by men. Men love hard and deep, and they will do anything for their partner if we just allow them to. And what are women doing to cause this? That was the end of her comment. But what are women doing to cause a man to not behave? It's about the nail. What are women doing? We're wanting them to be this one kind of guy. You try to be, and then we push them away. Men feel like they are in trouble when they're just trying to be men. They've done nothing wrong. Have you ever felt like you were in trouble when you were, Paul and me are both divorced. We're both divorced. So did you ever feel like you were in trouble when you were married? You didn't do nothing. You just walked in the door. You opened your eyes.
Yeah, but that was a whole different kind of situation.
I know, but it's still that
just,
feeling of, why you should not make your mate feel like they're in trouble if they didn't do anything wrong.
Here's the thing. When you
shaming
walk
them.
in, you can automatically tell in a room, doesn't have to be a mate with anybody. There's good vibrations and there's bad. There's people that'll bring uplifting, positive energy to a room, and there's always people that'll bring it down.
Yeah.
So if your mate, your friend, your spouse, your lover, whatever it may be, is having a bad day, well, what can you do to change that?
Mm-hmm.
Don't respond with negativity, and don't, she's bitching about the boss, and don't fall into it. Listen, understand that it is stressful for her, maybe a lot more than you because you're not there in the situation, but be understanding to it. But what can you do? Can you pour a drink? Can you,
Rub
run
her feet?
Something, a bubble bath, something, completely change the whole mood,
yeah.
the energy in the room to something positive. And if you do this, she'll do that for you too.
Yes. Women and men, we're obviously wired differently. There's a book that's called Men Are Like Waffles and Women Are Like Spaghetti. It even has a workbook that actually goes with the text, but the title says it all. So men are in their little squares, waffle squares. You're at work, you're at work. And if you're at home, you're at home. If you're walking the dog, you're walking the dog. If you're working on your 71 El Camino and restoring it,
Amen to that.
that's what you're focused on. You know, whatever it is, a man is working, they're mono-minded, and that's what they're in their little waffle square. They don't let it spill over into the other squares. Women, we're spaghetti. We have 75 thoughts. I mean, I'm thinking about your mom right now, and you probably didn't think about her once until I just mentioned it because you're a guy. Not that you don't love your mom, because your mom's an angel. Your mom's the best. But it's just you're focused on this. This is where your mind is right now. So I'm thinking about all the things that, you know, I'm multitasking. That's a dame's mind, I'm telling you.
Scary.
So let's get into something else. I want to ask. Okay, we'll refer back and forth to that video, but
Well, let's do that, because let's talk about what it is, because we missed the key part of that is the communication. What was the message that was coming across in that video? What was he trying to do, and what was she trying to do, and what could have they both done?
Yeah.
Was one right and one wrong? Well, no. You know, she's trying to make her point and sincerely
wants to
tell him,
fix it.
don't touch it, where he wants to fix it. Now, literally in that situation, just let her do what she wants to do. You don't understand it, but you can agree that she's trying to make a point. If she's making a statement, listen to what it is she wants, and then just simply give it to her, and it would have been done. But if you're trying to fix it, and that's what we do, we want to fix it. I understand. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be doing the same thing.
Right.
I'm like, close your eyes for a second. I'll snatch that thing out so quick you don't even know it went. But that's not what she wanted. But in the same time, and this is what I want to add to this real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, for men, you know what? First off, give the ladies some time. I mean, quality time. And that means, like in that situation, they were both sitting on the couch. I like it. Turn the TV off. Because the very first second you turn and look at the score, you've went right down the rabbit hole, and you're not going to return. Because she's going to look at you and say, see, you never listened to me. You know, the game's more important. And at that point, she'd be right. So, you know, do something that is relaxing. Give her that time. If you guys drink cocktails or tea, whatever it may be, open up that relaxing situation and then just let her talk. And then encourage her to talk. And listen to what she's saying, and then understand that men, we wouldn't do that. What are you doing? Go in the grocery store. Ugh. You know? We just go do it. We're in the waffle. We know what to do. We know how to do it. We're going to go do it. We don't need to be told how to do it. We don't even micromanage. You know, ladies, if you want a guy to do it, just say, hey, you know, do something kind of neat to him. Ask him, first off, for help. Guys always help you if you just ask them. Say, can you help me please on this? Or if you really want him to get up, just say you're going to do it yourself, and he'll get right out of the chair, and he'll get right
that's
up
happened
there.
quite a few times.
Yeah, you know, so, no, honey, I'll get right on it. But, you know, little kind gestures to support whatever you're trying to do, because that positive will get you a positive reaction.
Exactly.
If you go to it negative or go into it with that kind of negativity, it's in your mannerisms too. And that's part of it too, guys. When you give a lady some time, literally do what we're doing right now. Look at her, you know, look at her in the eyes. And just sit back kind of like I'm doing right now. Be open, be relaxed, be calm, and just listen. That's all you got to do. It's simple, but we don't understand that. You know, we're going to fix it. And we're going to
That's
fix
right.
it now.
Gonna fix it.
Because that's what we're doing.
That's right. You're
Fixers.
just going to fix it. Just fix it.
So
There's
body language is really important. Okay, you know, even here on your words, do you know that the meaning and the impression people get from words on a 1 to 100 is only like 8 to maybe at the most 20%? That your mannerisms, your voice, your body language well over dominates anything you say.
Yeah.
So all those other aspects that come into it is all key for your success.
Let me explain. Let me just do a little role play. So I can look into, hey, Paul, I'm good today. Or I can say, yeah, I'm fine. See, body language, I'm fine. Or, well, maybe I'm not, but my body language just told him something's not right. And you're like, uh-oh, everything okay? Oh, yeah, everything's fine. As I, you know, my body just naturally walks away. Yeah, my words are saying one thing, the body is saying a whole other. For
And your
sure.
words will completely go null because they won't believe it at that. You know, and it's
Communicate.
in your eyes. That's why they say you can't lie to them. It's the believability. You have to believe in and look at them. That's why it's so
It's in your
key.
eyes.
And women will respect you for that. Just that you gave them the time and you listened to them.
All right, so talking about One quick thought I want to share about men, my perspective on men. I know it's good. It's good. It's good. I'm going to give you guys all a big compliment here. Men are the happiest when they can make their mate happy. It's like that's one of their wiring. Their wiring is to make us happy, we women. Our desire is to serve them. That's just how we're built, with that nurturingness. Now, we can do it on our own, and it's fine for the independent women, and I am an independent woman, but I do have a partner. He loves to make me happy, and sometimes it's just a simple walk by and touch my face. It's so cool. Little things.
Hey, that's key. It doesn't have to be
It
anything
doesn't have
big.
to be monetary or anything like that. It's just a simple little. His job is to make me happy. So whatever. So that's how they're wired. So don't stop him from wanting to make you. Don't rob him of that blessing that creates that joy. So if he opens your door, let him. And it's like, thank you. Grab his arm and just a simple little gesture of thank you. A little, a little squeeze maybe, because he opened your door. It's just a little touch, it goes a long way, let me tell you.
I'll tell you something too, and you'll notice is if you see guys that are doing that, you look at what kind of relationship they're in.
Yeah.
They're usually in a lot better relationship.
Oh, yeah.
They're a lot closer. They're doing things for each other. They appreciate each other.
You know anybody who has that quasi perfect relationship besides Mike and me, of course?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I kind of do. I mean, and it's simply because she understands him and he understands her, and they understand their differences.
Yes.
And they understand that it's okay to be different. It's absolutely okay to see things differently.
Just
Don't
like
argue
this.
about it.
Yeah.
Don't try to change your mind. It doesn't work. No more that you want your mind changed on a topic.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely okay to disagree. It's fine.
Better respect it.
And whatever you do too is, again, with the body language, when somebody gives in and something, okay, I guess your way or my,
Yeah, we were going to address
with
that.
the attitude, just respect it
Yeah.
and leave it on a positive note. And that way, but you know what too, for men too, I want to say too, don't be afraid to say what's on your mind.
Right.
I'm not saying to be argumentative or mean or anything. Women really want to hear what you have to say, so tell them what you honestly want. It may be different than what they want, but if they can honestly say, I told you so. Plain and clear, it'll be pretty simple, straightforward, might be a few bullet points here and there, but just let him do that and understand that that's what he wants, but then stay with it and then don't try to change it either.
And not like that, but if he's telling us what he wants to us, that we want to know what's on your mind, well, then we don't have to sit there and pontificate on what, facts not in the evidence. We start to imagine scenarios that aren't even real scenarios. We're women. He's thinking about the combustion of an engine and the pistons, and we're looking at, yep, he said no. He said not now. He said, I know that just what it means. Okay, and she's got this whole thing going on, a whole thing right in her head, all because, there was no agreement in her mind the way it should have gone. It's a pattern recognition issue. So let's talk about drama and gossip and social media. You thought I'd never get there. I have a social media page, but I use mine for fun. I use mine for thought-provoking, healthy debate. I don't air my dirty laundry there, ever. And, but I know people who do. Should you your stuff should be kept private and keep the drama. You're going into a relationship. What do you bring to it? What should you bring to a relationship? Brand new.
Well, it's kind of a twofold question. One, let's address the drama issue and I think where it came from. I mean, TV, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Days of Our Lives and, all these other stuff and, it's on TV. It's not reality, okay?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when you ladies or guys, I'm not, either one, are watching this, your brain does not know that that's not real. They think everything they see is your brain
Absolute truth.
believes as reality. So it doesn't know the difference. So you're feeding it drama all day. And I can guarantee this. And I had a neighbor that was like this because she had like 5 TVs going with drama all day. And that's how she lived her life. always had to be gossiping, always was talking about somebody else, always, oh, did you know about Steve and Barbara? Oh, did you know about, there's all this drama and gossip that gets fed off of. But at the end of the day, it's all detrimental.
And they
It'll
want to
all
live the
tear it
life that
apart.
they're seeing on a television program that was scripted with actors that got paid money to say the words that you're trying to say in real life. And you're not going to live their life. That's not you. But that's what we're thinking.
Well, we've been programmed by the media
Oh, my God.
to go on a roller coaster ride. It's emotional, and that's what they're doing. You get the happy laughs, you get the dramas, you get the, oh, Steve's doing this, oh, he got the promotion over here, oh, he died, oh, he got the car. So it's that emotional roller coaster ride. But you got to watch, because in a relationship, if you're scattered all over the place, you're never going to find your center, you're never going to be happy. And both sides have to be at least somewhere centered so you can find an equal zone in the middle to be harmonious and understand that, you know, we can disagree and we can be okay with that.
Yeah, we were talking about that today when we were going over the show. You know, you have a relationship and you have an opportunity that comes. Let's say she brings the opportunity to him. This is a opportunity widget, whatever it is, and there's money involved, okay? And he looks at it and he decides it's not a really good investment. Now there's a choice she needs to make, and it can be reversed. Do I pout? Do I get all snooty about it because I didn't get my way? What's more important, getting my way or keeping the relationship strong? And I don't know, you, I'm sure, have had situations in your past where that has happened, even with my own children. If they don't get their way, it's like a little kid thing.
Oh, no, that's true, because no matter what, it's your thought pattern, and you want something, and you are positive. That's a good thing, but you know, you also have to respect your spouse for their opinion and value their opinion and discuss it. Now, it depends. I think part of this is on who
what?
brought up the topic, the subject,
Right.
who is initiating what that it is. And I think if you're doing that, you should, you know, depending on what it is, if it's very expensive, it's a trip, or come with a little ammunition. Support your theory.
Yeah.
You know, what is it you want to do? I want to do this. Why? This is why. If it's savings, well, how can we save, and how much would it be, and how, you know, basically just go over the dynamics of it and a little more information, and then ask for the other's opinion.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
say that you value the other's opinion. That's why you put this together, because you want to hear.
And then value it.
And then exactly.
Value
and
it.
you've just changed everything.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to say what it is you want. It's okay. Don't argue about it, but just be honest and open,
And if
and
we-
it'll go a long ways.
And if you don't get your way, go with, before you even talk to them about it, go with them with that. Okay, this may not work out. You know, how am I going to feel about it if I don't get what I'm looking at? If I don't get this opportunity, I need to know that ahead. And this did happen early on in my relationship with my boyfriend, Michael. It was an opportunity, and I wanted it. He did too, but it wasn't the right time. So I had to just be happy about that. You know what? You see something I don't, and I'm going to go with that. And I didn't ask him what he saw. I wasn't. That would have been an argument. You know what? I just respected his answer, and things have worked out great. You know what? Our relationship is stronger than ever. But don't bring drama. Oh, past drama from past relationships. Ooh, that's a big one, yeah? Y'all
Yeah.
can text me. The text number's at the bottom of the screen. It blinks on and off. 562-760-7723 if you want to chime in a question. I got my little, text phone right here. But drama, bringing your past into your current relationship.
You know what? Any energy you give to your past is wasted energy. You have to live in the present moment and put all your energy into the future.
Yeah.
We can't change it, you know. God knows I'd love to change a lot of things I did, but you can't.
No.
You can think about it, you can pontificate on it, you can look at it, you can analyze it, you can get sad over it,
Yes.
and it's just wasted energy.
Oh, exactly. Oh
Take
my
the
God.
same thought, the same energy about where you're at here, now. Go out and get connected. You know, go look at the stars tonight and be thankful. You know, have gratitude in your heart and be thankful for everything that we have, even, you know, in this chaos that we're currently living in. Still the greatest place in the world.
It's true. We live
So,
in
you know,
America.
we can all be thankful for what we have, even
Oh.
if it's meager things, it's good. Gratitude is really good.
And
It'll
it's so
bring you
much-
positive feedback.
It's so much better than drama. The drama mamas. Oh, please keep your drama to your llama.
Yeah.
It affects your relationship. If you're dramatizing in your social media, if you're bashing your partner, get rid of your partner then. They're obviously not making you happy. They're not serving you, or you're not serving them. The needs aren't met, whatever it is that you're trying to. So when you bring drama into it from your past, and if you've got a soured relationship from your past, clear it before you even move forward looking for another. Don't look for a replacement. I had this happen a few
Let me
years
mention
ago.
on that comment.
Yeah,
'cause
go ahead.
You mentioned social media.
Oh, yeah.
Never. It only makes you look ridiculous when you're
Sad.
airing your dirty laundry on social media. Come on, please.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. And Bob said this, and it's just
Oh
part
my
of the whole
gosh.
drama wrap up.
And I've
That's
seen it.
and it only makes the person actually who's initiating it, that makes you look worse.
It's funny you say that, because there was people that I know from about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, and they were just, it was like a social media fight between 4 or 5 people. And these are people I personally know, and none of them now are talking to each other at all because of that. It was a very selfish, self-centered comment that was originally made, and it's like, it needs to be deleted. It's like, don't bring that stuff here. I don't, don't bring that. No, don't do that. Okay, so we've talked about the drama, the social life, and who it is you're looking for. Now, I was married to a very high introverted man. He's not a bad guy. He's the father of my children. We just went our separate ways. So somebody had taught me something, and it's like, and so when I went on the dating scenes a few years ago, it was like, I kept attracting the same kind of person, and it kept ending up the same way. I'm like, okay, there was a block there. So that was word two. My mentor, she's telling me, well, look at what is it you're looking for? I wanted somebody a little bit more like me. They didn't have to be as extroverted as I am, because, I don't know if y'all notice, I'm a little bit of a high extrovert here. A little bit, right? A little bit of the outgoing spirit, but I did want somebody that was at least a little bit more outgoing. And I think I have a wonderful balance between my outgoingness and his. He's a little less outgoing. If you want a relationship questionnaire, just send me an email, or go through my website, or go through my text messages, and just ask me for that, and I'll send you the link. I got a question here. Women rarely ask me anything about myself, then get mad that I take it as a lack of interest. Explain, please.
Well, there again, I think it's the dynamics of the relationship, and
the
when
beginning.
people
Let's
say
see your first
communication, it is so key. But how how are you communicating? Is it just in words? Is it your gestures? Is it your emotions? Is it physical? What is it? How are you expressing yourself? If she's not understanding, or maybe it's in your technique or how your delivery is.
Yeah, she's not asking anything about you, but ask her about herself. And not only that, if she's not responding without questions about you, that's a red flag, in my opinion. If it's not being reciprocated at least by 20%, I'm asking all the questions, because I can keep the quietest introvert talking for an hour. I have no problem with that. I have the ability to do that. I'm really good at it. But if they're not asking me questions, at least a little bit, I'm going to just know that that's a red flag for me.
Well, I think again, I don't know about the quantity of the questions more than the quality.
Well, and
You'll
any of
know
that.
some people are just more quiet,
Yeah, I want them to.
and you'll know if they're listening and what questions do they ask you.
Right.
If you're talking about going to the hockey game together, and all of a sudden, she's talking about, having dinner next week at the family's house, you're going, well, okay, you're really not listening as well.
Right.
So find the common ground and listen to what your partner is saying they want.
Interest. What are their interests?
Oh, absolutely.
So
You should definitely have a common interest too
Yeah.
in something.
Absolutely.
Do something. I seen Ilah build a little stick house one time out of popsicle sticks.
And a glue gun. That's it. That's all you get. A canvas at Dollar Tree, and get some
Bottle of
popsicle
wine,
sticks,
2 glasses, glue,
and hot glue gun,
and
and
sat
no
there.
words.
They laughed, giggled, had a great time.
No words. You can't talk. You just have to. I let the man start let him start. He gets 2 popsicle sticks the first time to glue them together, and then you do 1 and 1, back and forth with no conversation. You have a 45-minute time limit with your glass of wine. See what happens. That's profound.
It was funny watching you, and it worked. It was just perfect.
It's like we built this little house. It's like so cool. It's like a great little behavioral thing, and you can do that really early on in a relationship. Do things that are fun in relationships. You know, she may not be into side-by-side desert biking as much as you may not be into going out and looking at what's something you don't like to do that women, grocery shopping. You don't like grocery shopping, do you?
like
No, it's not
grocery
your thing. Yeah, but if she's going to go on a side-by-side with you for the day, then and
Amen. Let's get dirty.
let's go. And she's like, hey, let's go hit Costco. You're gonna say sure because you just remembered she spent 6 hours on the dunes with you. It's reciprocating or whatever. You know, that's something that you can offer, but it's going back and forth, doing things that you don't like to do. I didn't know I liked curing olives. Well, it's not my favorite thing, but you know, I'm really getting into it. My boyfriend is curing olives now. Go out, you pick some.
They are the best too.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, he's got the whole olive thing, the whole olive market. We got hundreds of jars sitting there waiting to go.
Jalapeno garlic olives.
Green
They're
olives.
amazing.
Yeah, and he handpicked them. We're calling them, it's
They're
olive
for sale
babies.
for the holidays.
Yes, they're for
I
sale.
throw that pun in there.
I
mean, it's your
appreciate
show,
that.
so,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
true.
you know.
Yeah, especially if you're local, you can just let me know and we meet at my office. Okay, so other areas, we have this list of things we want to make sure we talk about. What are some turnoffs, in your opinion, Paul, that women do? Just if you generalize it, because everybody's a little bit different. But what are some turnoffs from a man's perspective? I'm going to ask you the same question, but I'm going to ask you what your opinion is. What are turnoffs you believe women might have from? I'm going to also give a woman's perspective, but I want your both. What are turnoffs that you, besides social media, being on your phone, looking at the score? What are some things that?
I think it's the nagging part of it. If there's any one thing sometimes, and I've seen it a lot, where they just, I know you're trying to express yourself and you really, and it seems like more the guys don't want to hear it, it's the more you're going to get more of it. And you really don't want to hear it, but if she wants to vent, then you have to. So, you know, it's
what's
kind of an
happening?
understanding that you got to have takes, pros and cons and takes and gives. And I think the best thing that any of that, just give her some time to talk, but then change the subject. You know, find something positive. Say, hey, you know what? When's the last time we took a vacation? And literally go do it.
Right.
Schedule positive activities in your life. Take up pickleball.
That's a really good one.
The world
You know,
needs pickleball right now.
You know, if there's a problem we ever have in our lives, what's the best way to solve it, Paul?
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're depressed, what will help you?
Pickleball.
If you're in anxiety,
It's pickleball.
pickleball. Is there anything you can't answer pickleball with? I mean, I don't think so.
World hunger.
World hunger?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
not,
maybe.
but
Okay.
everything else short of that's
Yeah,
pickleball.
pickleball. It's all about pickleball. People just go with pickleball. You know, it's interesting. I have a friend who was interested in a guy a few years ago, and she really liked him. But he had told her, "I'm just not interested in a relationship right now." So she wanted to keep pursuing it in hopes that she could change his mind. So what she became to him is friends with benefits. What he was to her is hopeful. I said, well, he told you he wasn't interested. This is a point I'm making. She's like, yeah, has he ever said anything different? No. So then just take it. He's still not interested. You are being available to him way too much. So when a guy says they're interested, or take them at their word. If a guy says, you know, they are interested and they're still pursuing, men pursue, ladies. Great. Just it's okay to play a little bit hard to get, but and don't be too clingy either on both sides. One of you is going to be more clingy than the other.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, just be careful with the clingy and no, I love you is the first date or anything like that. You gotta
Really?
Yeah, really. Yeah, keep it. Come on, Paul. I know he's getting. It's like I'm telling you. So priorities in a relationship. Okay, so one of the things that I learned was from an amazing mind. His name's John Kappas, Dr. John Kappas. He created this relationship strategy, or developed it. Probably already been there, but he based it on about 50,000 different case histories. There were different types of people. But what he learned, and this is just kind of a nutshell kind of thing, there are different priorities that people come into life with. And it's usually you learn it through a primary caregiver, secondary caregiver as you're growing up, but that's beside the point. So my priority in life, my first priority is relationships. My ex-husband's first priority was financial security. No, I didn't know that. I didn't understand that. So when you go into a relationship, one of you is probably going to have more of a priority in financial, career, that kind of future establishing and just making sure that you're taken care of. Where the other one of you is going to be in the relationship. You want the relationship, you want the sex, you want the camaraderie, the touch. Where the other one's going to be more into the we got to make sure we're career focused. That just means they're in their head more than they're in their emotions. They're in their emotions, they're just in their head first. Or someone like me, I'm in my emotions, in my head, in my body, all the time. It's just how I'm wired. So learning that aspect, you're not at odds with each other. What you are is just learning that there's different wiring, like we've been talking about, between the two people. So you come in at an understanding with financial security. Okay, that's your job. My job is relationships. Okay, so you divide divide and conquer, if you will, the different aspects. One's going to be into, maybe his is financial security and hobbies. Career, financial security, hobbies, and then relationships and sex. And hers is sex and relationship and children and family and hobbies, and then career and financial security. It could be that opposite of each other. My point is, be aware of that. There is a whole book on it, but if you're interested, let me know.
Well, I think that part of that too is a comment on it. If you're in that relationship, there's obviously men and women, and obviously there's going to be, you're better at something than she is or he is. It's just the way it's going to be. So for me, what I would recommend is, if you're in charge of finances, discuss it with your spouse, your significant. Tell her what you're doing. What are your goals? What are you focused on, and how are you focused on achieving it? Same thing. If they're into hobbies or into the house, give them the same amount of time for them to vocalize what it is they're trying to achieve and how they're going to achieve it. And then you can easily just figure out how to support that. So if both of you did that, can you imagine how amazing that would be?
Yeah, which kind of almost answers my next question is, what do you see men wanting in a healthy relationship? No, you can't say that. You can say the other thing, but not that.
You know what? I don't know if it's strictly about men, or it's men and women. We
No, I
just
want
want it
your-
to be.
Yeah, the men part, and I'm gonna give you the one more.
It's just simply that drama. There's no drama.
Drama.
Just try to take that aspect
Nagging.
out of it, because it's all negativity, and it doesn't really exist in reality. It's not your life. If you choose it to be, then your life is going to have drama in it. We all put out whatever energy, and that's what you're going to get back. So if you focus more on positive energy, if your goals are more focused on positive energy, if your relationship, if you're focused on being positive and setting goals together and doing things together, your results going to be positive. Not that everything's always going to be easy and you're always going to have the roller coaster of up and down in life, but that's where you should really be there to support the other one. But yet when people come off of negativity, then people want to feed back off of that. Well, try the opposite, because that's what you need to be there for support, because that's what we want too. If I'm having a bad day, this sucks, that sucks, got cut off, well, yeah, okay, here's a beer. Or, here, what can I do for you?
Rub, whatever.
So, it's all about that's it. Just more understanding, working together.
One of the
could be
things that I
key.
learned, it's not a 50-50 split. It's actually 100%, 100%. I'm gonna put 100% into my relationship, and my guy is gonna put 100% into it. And some days it's a 90-10 split. Some days it's just, a little less or whatever. That's where the other one picks it up. So one of the questions, I wanted to make sure I threw that in there. Let's see. So going to discuss blah, blah, blah. We're going to talk a little bit more about law of attraction and relationships.
Awesome.
I know, this is right up our wheelhouse. So do you think, first of all, is it possible to stay in a positive mindset all the time or most of the time?
No.
No. And pontificate on that. Or explain.
Well, we're not wired that way. We're emotional roller coasters. Even men, women are more, but men have bad thoughts. We've all had bad things happen to us. We all watch the news. We look at what's going on. So, yeah, we have bad thoughts. I mean, but it's how long you stick with it. Is it in your past? Was it a past relationship, a boss? Who cares? Because it's in the past. It's however long you stay and your energy's focused in that direction will determine on the outcome. And if you keep focusing on making tomorrow better than the day, regardless of what today was, it will be. Get up in the morning and tell yourself you're going to have a good day, and you're going to have a good day. You really will.
I believe it.
And if you get up in the morning and say, I'm going to have a shitty day today, it's going to be crappy. And at the end of the day, they're going to say, how was your day? You're going to say, it was crappy. Just exactly what you said was going to happen.
Right.
So start positive. You're going to have things happen. Somebody's going to cut you off on the freeway and flip you off. Wave at them. Don't let them take that away from you. You know, I had that happen on the 101 freeway. A lady was losing her mind, and I got my blinker on, and she's just going crazy because I'm like, I have to come on. There's nowhere, there's a guardrail, and she's just losing it. She's on her phone, and she's flipping me off, and I'm blowing her kisses and waving at her. I'm like thanking her, and she's freaking out.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Made her day.
Mama told me she can't take your happiness from you, only if you give it to her. And I'm like, no, it was too funny anyways.
Oh, no, you can't have that. Okay, so not putting the angry from our other relationships into the new ones. We already talked about that. Keeping things positive. We did talk about a little bit about keeping things positive versus negative. But the law of attraction, it works. It doesn't matter if there's positive or negative. It's going to work with whatever the vibration you have going on.
Absolutely.
So, like you said, if you just keep like it happened to you recently, you were thinking one way, and that's how it ended up at the end of the day. I forgot what it was, but it was.
Yeah, but it goes both ways
Yeah.
too, because I thought I was going to have a hard time with this program I'm writing right now, and guess what?
You did.
3 days, I still haven't got it written, huh?
Right. So it's changing that energy. Now the universe is going to provide you the energy of which you're in at the time you're in it, and it wants you to have your happiness and all of that. And if you want to know more about law of attraction, definitely contact us. But it's also attracting that energy field around us. You bring a negative, you think that all that negative energy is all, especially people who are bitter and angry. You know, bitter, angry people, they just can't seem to, they hold grudges, constantly holding grudges, and they can't seem to get out of that. And that's always what they're going to just keep piling on their life, is more people so they can hold more grudges. It begats itself over and over again.
Do you know what else has been medically proven? Is happy people get less disease and they're less sick.
That's
Their
true.
immune system is naturally better and more robust. Negative people that are always down and, issues always, this is a problem, that's a problem.
Right.
Their health is always a problem. Go figure. So, and part of this on the law of attraction, guys, boys and girls, if you really want it to work for you, it's like the lottery, or it's like praying. Why do people pray and their prayers don't get answered? Okay, here's my 2 seconds on this real quick.
Please.
There's 6,500 languages on the planet. I don't know if God, the universe, however you want to say it, sees it, but you know what? If I held up this, 6,500 different languages is going to call it a phone, so everybody recognizes what it is. So when you're doing your prayers, your affirmations and stuff, get a visual, because like they said, if you can see it in your mind's eye, you can create it. It really is true, but you got to also believe in it. Yeah. So you're putting that signal out that this is what you want. So God's saying, okay, now how do you tell God, the universe, how much you want it is by your emotions. Mm-hmm. If you really, some people's prayers get answered because their emotions, they see their person being well or, getting what they want, and they feel that emotion. So you've got to pretend like you're already in the present motion. If you want to win the lottery, pretend like you already won the lottery. If you want to be in a great relationship, pretend like it's already there. Feel those emotions, put out that energy, and it will reciprocate. It will come back to you. It really will.
Eliminate the dots of doubt too, because even though we'll put all that fun stuff in there, just like you said, but there's that little piece of us that's going to say, but it's not going to work. Watch out for that and kick it away. Keep it. You have nothing to lose keeping the positive thought process going and living in that, falling in love with it.
And just another thing real quick too, because we all do bounce back and forth. And, we all have past and issues and negativity and stuff. I got a picture of my little grandbaby on my phone. If I'm having a bad day or a bad thought, I click on that.
Got-
You got to smile. You know, she's so
That's it.
beautiful. And it's true. All you have to do is change your thought for a moment, and it's in that direction. You can't drive forward and reverse. You can't be thinking negative and positive. You're either or. That's it. So you can switch, and it's going to be hard. I deal with it. Everybody does. At first, it's like anything else. You have to train your mind that when those negative thoughts come in there, you can literally tell yourself, no, I'm just not going down that rabbit hole, and then go right to whatever it is you're doing or whatever it is in your future or your goal is or your relationship.
In past relationships, don't look at, some women look at all men as they're just mean. No, I know quite a few guys who are rare catches, and they're looking for that diamond in the rough too. So definitely think about that. If you want a way to clear it, give me a call. Go to my website, contact me, send a carrier pigeon, and I will be happy to either help you with that or refer you to somebody who can if it's out of scope. That our show is almost over. Do you have any parting thoughts before we go about our night?
You know what? The world's in chaos. Boys and girls, just be good to each other, all right? And go with love in your heart, and you'll get love.
That's right.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I had fun. I always do. You've been doing so well on your show. I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
Your practice is going crazy. Hardly can
is.
schedule any time for me anymore, but
No,
it's
no.
amazing, and I wish you more success.
Thank you.
And yes, you mentioned your friend Michael there. I've met the man. He is amazing. So
He
you are
is.
blessed. So
He's
put out good
just-
positive energy.
You're gonna get
and
it.
Focus on that, and you will receive it.
You will.
I believe it. Just believe it in your heart.
You will.
Thank you. You have a great evening.
You too. Thank you so much for coming, Paul. And thank you all for being here. I don't have any other parting words. I really thought we were going to be like, looking for time. But here's something to part with. Love and respect each other unconditionally. Because unconditional love is just that, unconditional. You know what? It's so easy to look at the flaws of everybody around us with your mate. I know I kept this very heterosexual, but I don't mean to diss the gay community at all. People, you have your mates and your partners. So I tried to put that in there. I'm a girl with a guy. I'm old school like that, and that's just my thinking. But loving each other unconditionally. It would be real easy for me to start looking at the negative faults of my man. He has them, I'm sure he does. I don't focus on that because I want him to always smile when I look at him. I don't know, Paul sees us a lot, and I'm sure he would attest that we have that look, when we look at each other. All Google eyes. Yeah, I know, right? I am changing my show. It will be starting next week. It will be on Central Valley Hypnotherapy YouTube channel starting December 9th. I'll be doing it right from my office moving forward. Gas prices are just getting so ridiculous to drive out here and such. And so if you all have any thoughts on any topics, give me a jingle or whatever, contact me. Thank you all for your time and energy today. And if you ever do want to have just a cookie cutter show where you can just walk in, centralvalleytalk.com. Talk to Mike Briggs, and he's dynamic, and he's a very casual, easygoing guy, and you'd like it here. And he'll even do you through Zoom if you have to do it through Zoom. Take care, everybody, and I will see you next week on Central Valley Hypnotherapy.